Do you think Athos or the other patriarchs will address the recent meeting between the EP and Rome? Catechumen friends of mine have been scandalized. So I guess maybe a good way to address this would be how to handle if you feel scandalized or something like that.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sending you this link right now, by the way. Um, I'm kind of laughing at this because the Pope and the Ecumenical Patriarch meet every few years.
Mhm.
Who cares? It just, I saw an article and it was listed. It talked about their meeting. It said they sign an agreement towards unity, and I thought, what does that even mean? Why are people up in arms about this? An agreement towards unity. You and I could sign an agreement towards unity, and it would be. I don't
Right.
know what that means. I mean, you have to address the theological issues. You have to address the real issues. So this let's hold hands and act nice and talk about how we love each other and are going towards something beautiful. It doesn't have any content to it. So honestly, the typical response I have to anything that seems scandalous in the worldwide Orthodox Church, people talk about Moscow and Constantinople and what's happened in Ukraine, and I sit there and go, does this affect your daily prayer life? Does it affect your relationship with Christ? Does it affect you on a daily basis? If not, forget it. Christ will take care of it. We've been through so many 2,000 years. Read the book of Acts.
Right.
The church was not a smooth enterprise right from the start. It was the exact opposite. It had problems right from the beginning. And those who get hopped up about these controversies, they don't actually help to solve anything, but they ruin their own spiritual life, which, as we said, is actually has an effect on the whole world around us. So take a breath, breathe and pray. Breathe and pray. If you're really concerned about it, pray for those involved. There's a very holy bishop, Yerasimos of Abydos, who's buried at the seminary in Brookline, Massachusetts. He There's a couple stories about him that reveal he was probably a saint. I mean, a really holy man. And there's a story about some students who went to his office one day, and they asked him about the Pope. They said, what do you think? They, very like anti-ecumenist, anti-Roman Catholicism, anti-everything. Which, by the way, be pro-Christ. If you're not pro-Christ first and foremost, being anti-anything isn't helpful. You're just an ideologue at that point. You're not a faithful Orthodox Christian. Be pro-Christ. So they went to his office and said, well, what do you think about the Pope of Rome and his claims of infallibility? And Bishop Yerasimos, he made the sign of the cross. He said, I think that I don't pray for the Pope enough. And
Mm.
I thought, it's like such it's an Orthodox answer that doesn't settle, the heart that wants to fight, it doesn't settle at all. No, come on, I want to fight. But it's actually a much wiser answer. We see a problem. The best thing you can do about it is pray about it. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're different. Maybe you're different. But I've never seen somebody who said, boy, I really became zealous for orthodoxy and really realized the errors of ecumenism because I read a comment on Facebook. I don't know if you know anybody who's ever had that experience, but I haven't.
Yeah, I don't use Facebook at all. So
Yeah, well, old man.
yeah, there you go. So that's way more pious. I don't have Facebook. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
What a
so
person.
I don't know. Will Athos address it? I don't know. I don't think they really. I think the best way to address it is silence. Honestly, I think we ignore it because it's just not a big deal. I mean, the Ecumenical Patriarch and the Pope of Rome meet all the time. Every few years, they seem to have a meeting, and I think if we ignored it as being nothing, it would be treated as being nothing because it's just not significant to us. It has no effect on our spiritual lives, and frankly, the Ecumenical Patriarch can't suddenly enact a union with Rome. It's just canonically impossible. It doesn't happen that way. Rome would need to repent and come back to orthodoxy. So Christ will take care of all of it. I'm not worried one bit. I have way too much happening here that I need to deal with than to have to worry about the Pope and the Ecumenical Patriarch.